Hello everyone, welcome to the Wofford Terriers 2016 Southern Conference Basketball Preview alongside his head coach Mike Young in his 15th season as the head man and nearly 3 decades here on campus, 28th season overall. One of the main storylines, coach, that is going to be written about this year, the final season here inside of this arena, Benjamin Johnson Arena. You have seen the majority of the time inside this building. What memories do you carry forward? A lot of good moments for you inside this facility.
A lot of great ones. A lot of great ones. I think back of all the many hours and practices and shoot-arounds and holiday practices that we've had in here, after Christmas and so on, when you really start seeing your team come together, and all the many terrific games. I can remember playing Eckerd in here in the Division II National Tournament. We lost that game, but a special team and just many great memories, and I will look forward to this. Is a great basketball facility. It's a great place to watch a game. We have needed a new facility. We've needed some upgrades and the amenities that go along with the newer places, and getting into Jerry Richardson Indoor Stadium next season will be incredible, and looking forward to that. But I'm going to enjoy the time that I have left walking in here every day to practice, taking my team onto this floor and competing night in and night out, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Should be a special farewell tour for this place. You always play a very difficult, very lofty schedule away from this arena. No different this year. You look back to the last 2 seasons, you faced Duke and North Carolina, who ended up participating in the Final Four the years you've played them. So it doesn't get much better than that when it comes to non-conference slate. Everything in tow to be that once again. Talk about your schedule and how it breaks down, Coach.
Well, like every other year, it's hard. I'm really excited about the tournament we have in Fort Myers, Florida, with like-minded schools for the most part. Houston's in there, and Houston should be very good with Coach Sampson. George Mason's in there with Coach Polson. We play a very good Vermont team that has been to the NCAA tournament several times, like us, of late. Hofstra, who had a very good year in the Colonial last year. South Dakota, who we played a couple of years ago, and a program that's getting better. Kent State, traditionally very strong. So we'll know a little bit more about our team as we come out of there. But Miami and American Airlines Arena, to start our season at LSU, a couple of places we've never been. I've never taken my team into those places to play. American Airlines Arena, that is. Colorado, we have an opportunity to get Eric Garcia back home, which is very important to us. Guys like Garcia that have been terrific players for us, to get them back into their home state, region, in front of family and friends, and they'll have a bunch of people from Denver there, family, and his buddies from Grandview High School, and his high school coach will be there. So it's challenging, but I know of no other way to best prepare a team for what lies ahead in January and February, in that Southern Conference play.
Those games to circle, don't even mention the always difficult Southern Conference slate. How does the conference break down in your mind coming into this season?
I think it's going to be a great year. I think it's going to be a really interesting year to follow. Chattanooga, far and away, in my estimation, the preseason favorite, with 3 fifth-year guys back, and Justin Toyo, Trey McClain, Casey Jones, Greg Pryor, their point guard, is terrific. Matt McCall does a very good job with those guys. Bob Hoffman's always going to put a very good team on the floor from Mercer. East Tennessee is going to be good. I think Greensboro has a chance to be very good. Citadel's going to be better. I think Coach Balcom has more of his kind of players in there now that can play the style that he wants to employ, and has been very good with it. Dan Earl, I thought, did a very good job in some tough circumstances at VMI. They're going to be formidable with QJ Peterson back for his senior year. So I think there's going to be a lot of balance. I think it's going to be really tough every night, whether you're on the road or at home. And you'll have to bring your best, and if you don't, you'll get clobbered. So. We'll look forward to that as well.
Turning our attention to the makeup of your team, it obviously always starts with Eric Garcia. He separated himself as one of the best point guards in the entire conference. Averages in double figures for you, and maybe most importantly as a distributor, at least an assist in every game last season.
If I could draw one up, I would draw up Brad Losing and Eric Garcia. A blessing to have had the opportunity to coach both those guys. If I had to draw one, the characteristics: he has a very high basketball IQ. He never ever turns the ball over. He makes open shots. He is a leader on the floor. He's very, very. It's very important to him. The game is. He studies it. He is always incredibly prepared. He takes care of his body. He has been a great one. He's been a great one. And I also think back all the great achievements that in his freshman year in the Southern Conference tournament, we played 3 games. He had 23 assists and 0 turnovers. He didn't turn the ball over. And I don't care what sport you're playing, a quarterback in football, baseball pitcher that's, putting people on base with base on balls, a point guard in basketball. If you're turning the ball over, you're going to have a really hard time winning. And Eric does not do that. He does a lot of things to help our team.
Got a pure shooter back in Fletcher McGee, the sophomore out of Orlando. Led your team in 3 points made, led your team in 3-point field percentage. And think about this, Coach, the record-setting performance he had in that game, 9 out of 10 in the midseason last year. I mean, here's a guy who has the chance to really elevate his game each time down the floor.
There's an old adage in coaching: if your best players are your hardest workers, you're on to something. And Garcia and Fletch, anybody would tell you, are our 2 hardest workers. They're serious about it. They want to be great players. Fletcher McGee's in here all the time, getting better. He's thirsty. He is starved to get better. He's watching clips of other comparable players, guys that play the same position as he does. I thought his movement got better as the year went on. His improvements this year will be because of added strength. He's bigger up top. His upper body is bigger. He's stronger. Now he's going to encounter, more attention. Maybe he snuck up on some people a year ago, but he's going to have another great year. He's a heck of a player. Will have the ball in his hands a lot. He is not shy to put it in the air, and I don't expect him to be shy to put it in the air. We have a little deal around here, it's been this way for a long time. If you can ring that bell, you've got green light. And Fletcher's green light is a different shade of green. If he touches it and wants to let it go, we're going to let him.
Finally, the rest of your team, Coach. You got 6 new faces among the freshmen coming in. You hope you get a full season from Cam Jackson. What can Wofford fans expect to see from this team as a unit this year?
Well, he's doing great. No limitations. I might pull him off the floor in the last 30 minutes just to make sure. But he's moving great and he's comfortable. He's running the floor very well. It's time. He's kind of bottled up here for 2 years and dinged up, and we didn't need him to play a lot as a freshman with Skinner and Justin Gordon and C.J. Newman. He was the 4th wheel. He had some good moments. Last year as a sophomore, I thought was, his time to, present himself and help our team win, and we just couldn't get him healthy for the myriad of injuries, but he worked at it. He stayed here this summer and got stronger, got healthy. Through 10 practices, he's been a load. He has been terrific on both ends. Better understanding of the game, better understanding of how to get open, stay open, catch, and score. So he's a big part of this team. We need him to be a good basketball player. We need for him to, 10 points, 5 boards a game, and he's very capable of that. He's capable of more than that. But let's keep our expectations down here until he gets some things done. But he's going to be fine.
For all the reasons Coach Young just documented, tremendous excitement surrounding the final season in Benjamin Johnson Arena of Wofford basketball. Up next, we have Coach Jimmy Garrity to visit with us about the women's basketball program. A lot more Southern Conference basketball coverage coming up.
Right back to his left wing, it's Garcia, three-pointer, got it! Eric Garcia hits a three. Left wing Garcia, extra pass to the corner, Fletcher McGee's got another! Whoa!
Wofford basketball season tickets now on sale. For details, go to woffordterriers.com/tickets.
Coach Jimmy Garrity in his first season at the helm of the Wofford Terriers women's basketball program. And Coach, your background from the area, you graduate Elon from Cary, North Carolina, spent your 3 years as a head coach at Anderson University just across the way. So this is new territory for you, but in so many ways the Carolinas and the Southern Conference you're very familiar with.
Well, yeah, feels like home right here in the upstate. Got my start in basketball at UNC Wilmington, and from there moved to Clemson and was fortunate enough to get a head job at Anderson University for the past 3 years. And very good teams down there, had really good players. And really fortunate to be here at Wofford after spending time there, and just prepared me to make this step. And been kind of familiar with the Southern Conference. Played a few teams in that when I was at Anderson University and also at Wilmington. So pretty familiar with the conference, and happy to be a part of it.
What have you already discovered about the Wofford Terrier fan base, and certainly about this Wofford women's program in your short time here?
Well, everybody on campus, the support, the students, they've been great. I know we've had great crowds. This place, the Benjo, has seen a lot of great games and a lot of history in this place. A lot of big-time wins here too, and really excited to be a part of all that. And just the overwhelming sense of community you have here at Wofford has been fantastic.
You'll get one season here inside Benjamin Johnson Arena to have at least that experience. Then you move into the brand new facility. One of the main things that coaches always talk about when they come in recruiting, how does it help you to know you're heading into a state-of-the-art facility early in your tenure?
Well, it's pretty special. Now, what's going up across the way here is absolutely amazing, and will have a tremendous impact on recruiting, but also the experience, the college experience that our student athletes have. And it's going to be a building that is second to none in the conference. And at the same time, we're excited about finishing out the Benjo this last season, and to give this some history here in the last year, and hopefully we play really well here. I know we will with the crowd support, but it is really promising to look for next year in the future in the new arena.
You're greeted with a very difficult schedule. You look at some of the teams you'll have to play. It begins on the road against an ACC opponent in the NC State Wolfpack. And one of the things that jumps out about the schedule, Coach, in a stretch from December 5th to January 5th, you're on the road the entire time. Talk about the schedule for us.
Well, it is going to be tough. We open up at NC State, and they've just refurbished Reynolds Coliseum, so it'll be the first game in that. They'll have a tremendous crowd there. So I did work at NC State for a few years too, so I'm excited to go back there and play. But then you're right, we do come home after that for 3 games, and then we're on the road again. We play December 5th at home against Coastal, and then we don't come back to the Benjo at home until January 5th against Western. So during that time stretch, it's 10 out of 11 games on the road. We go to Nebraska, Omaha, which would be a tough place to play. We follow that up with a trip to Gainesville to play University of Florida. Then we got some Big South opponents in there. Gardner-Webb we play. Then we go to CAA, UNC Wilmington. We do a Florida swing and play North Florida and then Jacksonville. And then from there we go to Kennesaw State and play them, and then we're finally back home January 5th.
One of the main things about being a part of a new program is developing that chemistry. That month on the road, will that be helpful in that process?
Well, it's going to have to be. We're going to have to be together as a team, playing for one another during that time stretch. And, you know, it's never easy to go on the road and win. So you typically got to be 10 points better. And so our team has done a tremendous job supporting one another and being together. So I expect that's going to help us down the road as well.
Chloe Wanick comes back as an all-freshman team selection from a year ago. You have Kendra Washington. These are some of the key pieces. Washington, who averages in double figures and had 10 straight games in which she scored in double figures. Talk about those two as well as the surrounding cast and the makeup of your team coming into the season.
Well, yeah, Kendra is going to lead the way for us. Very talented senior. Has put in her time here, is committed to the program, committed in the offseason to get better. She's established a leadership role this year. She's holding her teammates accountable, really comes to practice every single day and works hard and works on her craft. Been a tremendous player for her in practice so far. So I'm expecting big things from Kendra. Her teammates are as well too. And then you mentioned Chloe. Chloe is a very interesting player. She doesn't look the most athletic, but man, she can score the ball. And one thing, you know, found that out early. She was not here during the summer, so we just got to work with her when she came back to school in August and September. But she's very crafty with the ball. Has a innate way of scoring. She can play from outside, hit the three. She can take it off the dribble. She can get to the rim. So we're looking for exciting things to happen with her. And so, you know, she's going to be surrounded by some good teammates as well, too. You know, at this point, everybody's going to need to step up their game and play like they're capable of playing. I think Grayson is going to have a big year, too. Sarah Trainer is going to help lead the way along with Amashi at the point. So Maria Corella, she can score in a variety of ways, too, very athletic. And so everybody, we have enough pieces of the puzzle to get it right, so we're going to expect everybody to step up and play well for us.
Those are the pieces of the puzzle. What have been your points of emphasis with this group since taking over?
Staying together. Like, we really need to compete, try to win every drill, try to win every practice. We're just trying to get better every single day, and if we can ever get to the point where we're playing for one another and staying together as a team, then that in itself will help us win some ball games.
Some changes in the women's game that fans may or may not be aware of, but what it comes down to, possessions now are going to be affected moving forward. How do you see that playing out in your team, and what do you feel like those changes have done to the game as a whole?
Well, you know, it's, you know, the 4 quarters. We're playing 4 quarters now. And for that was probably a bigger adjustment for coaches than players. I mean, listen, players just play, you know, so, but it does affect the possessions. Media timeouts are different. You know, sometimes if you get down early, you got to spend a media timeout in the first couple minutes. You won't have another one. You can go 8-9 minute stretch without a media timeout. So, but I think it's been very beneficial. I think I do like the changes. I especially like some of the changes where you're under a minute, you call a timeout, you can advance the ball. That's pretty special. You know, we've used that in the past and it's worked well for us. But ultimately, it comes down to there's minutes on the clock and players just play.
We mentioned with your background, you are familiar with Southern Conference action. How do you see the league breaking down this year that your team will have to navigate?
Well, the league is really good. I mean, Chat's been up there. Mercer had an excellent year last year. You know, East Tennessee State is returning a lot of players, good players. You know, Furman, Sanford, UNC Greensboro, you know, on down the line with Western Carolina as well too. Like, they're all good programs, and they're all wanting to win a championship. So everybody's in that same boat, but we need to raise our level and try to compete in the top half and go from there.
Jimmy Garrity, the women's basketball program, laying a foundation for the future here at Wofford.
The madness begins here. Make sure you're at the U.S. Cellular Center in Asheville, North Carolina, March 2nd through 6th for the 2017 SoCon Basketball Championships presented by General Shale. You don't want to miss the action as your favorite SoCon teams compete for a championship and a berth in the NCAA tournament. Book your travel and tickets by logging on to SoConTravel.com or by contacting the U.S. Cellular Center box office. Madness begins here. Get your tickets today.
Coach Young and Coach Garrity for breaking down the Wofford basketball season with us. I'm Jason Patterson, and this has been the 2016 Southern Conference Basketball Preview.